My name's Ryan, I'm an addict. I think my wife's on the way, so I'll get this out before my wife comes. I did ask my mates, I said, for some advice, I said, I'm a bit nervous for the share today. So I'll go to a couple of people, spiritual advisors, really deep mates, you've known them for a long time, you can trust them with everything, they're like that. And I'm nervous. I said I'm really nervous for the share, because it's a big deal for me. I said, what should I say? What you got for me? He said, tell them about the shaving stick up the arse story. I said, I can't relate to that. I won't tell you who I had that conversation with. But I did ask a few people for some advisories, because you know what we live with? We live with, like Dan said, a big ego. We're all about that, but we also live with feelings of don't feel that you're really worth it, or you're enough, or don't believe in yourself. So obviously went to my mates, and they take the piss, and they know me, and it's good, because you need to have a laugh in recovery, don't you? And you can trade those disgusting stories with each other with no shame or fear, and you get relationships like that if you stay around here. This morning I Facebook messaged my first sponsor and just said hello to him, and then my second sponsor, I don't know if you know Ty. Anyone remember Ty? That fucking guy was the patience of a saint for me. In my second year, I was obviously pretending I was well, and I really wasn't well. I was deeply unwell and deeply troubled with who I am in the world. And I would do things like fucking turn up at his flat at 6 a.m. and bang, 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 my head's fucked. And I've never been like that as a sponsor for anyone. It's like, you do that, you fuck off. Like, that is, I'm not that guy. And generally speaking, if he was in, he'd let me in. And literally all he ever did for me was he'd open the book and he'd go, let's read the book, why? Let's read the book, why? His accent, anyway. And that's what we did. He'd get my head in the book. So whatever was going on for me, and it would have been a million and one things. It could have been anything. And so that was, so I pinged him anyway. I don't know if he's pinged me back, but I pinged him. So I was just settling myself. And then I pinged my current sponsor, Jimmy Kay, who's down in London. And I just said, I'm fucking nervous. I need to sort myself. I'm just nervous for a share, because it's a big deal. For me, it's a big deal. And he says, oh, you're just sharing in a general way what it was like. What? And I went, but I want it to be the fucking share. I want it to be the share of shares. I want the fucking share CD to travel. And all of that shit. Of course I do. Because that's what you want, isn't it? And then I'm at my home group this morning, I'll speak to Tony. I'm like, Tony, I'm a bit nervous. Or just fucking anyone that'll listen to me, I'm a bit nervous. And we hit the sweet spot. Yeah, and he said, you're tangled up. I think that's what was said, you're tangled up, you just need to disentangle yourself. Your job is to hopefully carry the message, and if one person or two people hear it, then you've done your job. And everyone's like spiritually nodding their head, and I'm like, yeah, but I want to nail it, bruv. But you know what? The truth is like, I'm just me. What I've learned in recovery is I'm enough. And if I'm nervous, I'm nervous. And the reasons that it's a big deal for me may be the same reasons it's a big deal for you. But everyone's got a fucking childhood. Everyone's got a teenage phase. Everyone fucked it up and ended up here. And then what I've learned is you get into recovery and then you find out why you're in recovery. Innit? It's just one of them ones. So, and anyway, I was sat over there just not wanting to engage with anyone out there because I'm fucking nervous. Or I don't want to come off as being so self-obsessed. But of course I'm self-obsessed. in the positive way, not in the cuntish way, but in that, like, it's all right way. And I got a text from my son. I've got two children, a 17-year-old and a 15-year-old. And last week, I think Jay, who's around, Jay said, would you do this share? I was like, yeah, cool, yeah. I'm just like, yeah, with no thought of the emotional journey to come. And then I start tick. I better go to ChatGPT. Better try and formulate my thoughts. I just need to brain dump. I just need to organise this because it's just too much. It just won't stop. And then I'll go to my children, as I do. I'll go to my children, and I said, I'm a bit nervous. About the share. You got any advice for me? Got anything for me? And anyway, I'm going to read out what Finn, he's just my, he's me. Just one of me, both my children are my heroes. I just love them. Like what a gift kids are. Just what a gift. And I've had them in recovery, and they've been the beneficiary of what the step process is. And they're like emotionally literate kids who see adults not as the fucking people that dish out the harm and the rules, but they see adults as like they can own their shit, and they apologise when they need to apologise, and they're just human, and they can have a laugh. And they're people you can feel safe with, and all of that stuff that I learnt back then, and I've transformed through this experience so that people have a better life because I'm in it. Anyway, I asked him for his advice, and this is what he sent me. Just wanted to wish you a good luck for the convention. And what I always do when I get nervous and think I'm going to mess up is, who cares? Who actually cares? As long as I know what I'm trying to say, then that's absolutely fine. And everyone else can fuck off. And it gets better still, because no one's going to remember in a few days, are they? Sending my best wishes over. And I thought, you're fucking brilliant, mate. Brilliant. Just brilliant. Anyway, what was I going to share? I'm just settling myself. I did actually have to write some fucking bullet points because I get caught. I'm like a rabbit in the headlights. You know that one where you freeze and your brain just goes somewhere, doesn't it? And you're thinking, what are they all looking at me for? All right. So there's one thing I need to get ahead of. I went to the. This is nothing to do with recovery, I don't think. But I went to a hearing test, audiologist. I think a week ago. Hello, Nick. There's my wife, just over there. I'm so glad Nick's here, though. I do. I just feel tremendously better. I just do. Anyway, I'm getting ahead of this one because so I went to this audiology thing. I think I had the flu like 3 or 4 months ago, and at home it's like, fuck him, will you turn the TV down? And I watched the TV with the subtitles now, and I'm not that old. I certainly don't look that old. And it was a little bit bad, and I would go to Nick, like, what did he say to the kids and stuff like that? So I thought I'll take responsibility, because when I turned 50, I started visiting the GP to invest in my health or make sure I'm going to be okay, because I want a long fucking life. And went to this audiology appointment, and the long and short of it is, she went, yeah, so what do you think about these hearing aids? So I've got these fucking hearing aids in both ears. I says, well, how much are they? Because you hear these horror stories, don't you? It's like, we're not fucking packing fucking peas nowadays. It's like there's a cost of living crisis. It's been going on for years. The money ain't going up, blah, blah, blah. So I says, how much is it? She says, it's free on the NHS. And it's the old brick NHS ones. You know, from fucking in the schools. If you're in the 70s, which is when I grew up, in the 80s, they ripped the shit out of you for that kind of stuff. So I had to start processing this stuff. I thought, I'm not going to tell Nick. I'll wait until it fucking happens. And you just thinking of managing it all these ways. And I thought, of course I'm going to tell Nick. So I got in the car, and she's like, what? What? But fucking que sera, sera. That's it. I'm growing up, and what I've learned to do, with respect to things that I'm frightened of, or where the pride might fuck me up, is just to fucking own it and accept it and move on down the road. It's not going to kill me, and I might be embarrassed, but also it might deeply improve the quality of my fucking life. And it's like, what do you focus on and what do you settle on in recovery with what happens? What meaning do you interpret to the fucking experiences you have? Because that's what we're up against, isn't it, in the mind? Problem centers in the mind. Well, are you going to fucking look at it that way or are you going to look at it that way? And if you can't settle on something, you can come here and share away to your heart's content, innit? Because we're all the fucking same. Anyway, that's what I wanted to get ahead of. So I might get into the share in a minute. I might not. I was at my home group. It's a great home group. Enough about the home group. And I came home and thought I'm going to get ready for this event. And Nick's at college, doing her college work. And I think I've got to get a row in. So I like my physical fitness. I've got to get on the rowing machine. And I don't know if anyone's a rower, an indoor rower, but it is a fucking tough sort of path to take if you want your fitness. Yeah. Nick feigns interest in my physical fitness endeavours and has done for years. It's bad enough that I talk about it at home all the time, but fucking bringing it into the meeting space is just terrible, isn't it? And anyway, I'm rowing, and it's a particularly difficult session. It's 6 sets of 500 metres with a 2-minute break in between. And I'm building up to the fucking one, and it's the last set, and I am putting in work. And when you put in work on the rowing machine, often it can bring up a sense of panic. You just get to that place. And Tubular Bells came on the playlist. So it's quite an atmospheric fucking song. And then all I'm doing while I'm rowing is thinking of my form, and then I'm thinking of everyone here. Thinking of just think of other people, and other people will get you through this row, and you'll be able to succeed, and you'll be able to achieve. And then I start thinking about Muhammad Ali, when he was taking on George Foreman, and he was saying, I had the whole of Africa behind me, and that's why I won. And anyway, that's how I settled myself. That's how I settled myself for the event today. But what's pertinent about that is, if I don't have anything else and anyone else in my life, and if I don't utilise what I've got that's going to pull me through difficult things, I will give up in a fucking heartbeat. I will put the handle down on the rowing machine, or I just won't do that thing. And so for me, being the fucking king of being isolated, coming into recovery, going through the step process, learning how to turn that around and thinking of others, because it's not a bad thing to do. It's really helpful to me in my life. Really helpful. So anyway, I feel slightly settled. Yeah. How long have I got left?
10 minutes.
Okay. So I was born in Coventry. Big up the Midlanders. And you didn't see too many Midlanders down here. They're all Londoners or Liverpool, isn't it? 20 odd years ago. But anyway, I was born in Cov, and you know the specials, Ghost Town? That was about Cov. That was the backdrop. Irish immigrant parents who've come over for a better life, and we're just working class. And my dad's one of 8, and my mum was one of 8. And theirs, above them, were both one of 14. So there's a lot of love going around there, and there's a lot of dysfunction too, isn't there? There's just a lot of, you can imagine. And growing up in Cov, I had an older brother. My Uncle Peter come over in, I wouldn't know when it was, 74, 75, something like that, 78 maybe. But what he did, he was a boxing champ in Northern Ireland. So he said that me and my brother had to box each other every day after school. And fucking I'm the younger brother, so I got battered most not battered, but boxed up most Monday to Friday, most of the year. And I love my brother, you know what I mean? He was just a better boxer than me. So anyway, that was my childhood in Coventry. we moved to Ireland in 1980, and that's when sort of like things started to turn a little bit. I was English speaking in an Irish country, and if anyone knows the Irish history, you know, the British came in to the north and there's British rule and it's just a bit difficult. And I'm Irish, because I've got an Irish family. I'm just fully Irish, except I was born in England. And then I go over there and it's like, you fucking English proddy fucking... And I'm like, but I'm not. So within, I think, half an hour, I changed my accent and I was like, Ryan from Macrofeld. What about you? How's it going? Wet the tea? Why don't you? On you go. And just all of this. Like, so you have to adapt and you have to fit in because you're frightened and you need to find a way to manage your stuff. And Ireland was... The best way I can describe it was difficult. Dad he'd get a job and he'd be working away, working back in England or working in Dublin. Mum was English speaking in an Irish Catholic town. It was just bonkers. And there was the backdrop of the troubles that was going on. So you would have like sectarianism and that kind of violence. So it's a religious situation. And for me, no one ever said you have to pick that side because you are that side. So you're Irish Catholic and you're on that side of the line. And even if I felt differently about that, as a kid, you're going to innocently think, well, people are people. There's no fucking issue with people, but you get pushed to sort of like that side. You're going to be a blue or you're going to be a green, or yeah. And I was frightened of it. So you would see British soldiers on the street. So one would be knelt down with his gun out, the other would be stood up. There was bombs that went off in town, and I just found it quite a threatening place to be. But then equally, I'm not that much of a communicator. So I don't think any of us were communicators. My mum and dad weren't communicators. They're just from that generation. My dad grew up watching John Wayne films, and the woman did the housewife stuff, which is abhorrent to me now, but that's the way it was. And there was a couple of things that happened in Ireland that sort of dramatically changed me outlook on life, and I became very, very, very religiously focused to cope with what was going on, and I was a devouter child as you'd ever seen, and in the Irish Catholic tradition, you're full of rosaries, you're full of prayers, you're all that stuff anyway. But I kept on asking to be saved from whatever situation I was in, and it fucking didn't happen. So you're laying all your expectation and hope into this. You want something, you want some kind of an intervention. It doesn't happen. I was an altar boy. I was going to be a priest. I was all fucking lined up for that because I thought that would be the way out of whatever was going on, and it didn't happen. So then I thought, fuck it, I guess, as whatever age I was, 8, 9, 10, 11, you just think, well, that's it. And you make your move. And what I started doing was just stealing money to make myself feel better, to have friends, all that kind of stuff. And there was one, I knew I was conflicted. There was this one experience I had when I was a kid. And there was sort of an away day from school, and there was this one kid bawling his eyes out, a lad. Everyone was moving to him, loving him, looking after him, being nice to him, cuddling him, what's wrong? And he said, my mum and dad didn't give me any money. And everyone fucking supported him because they were skint, they had no money. And I felt fucking terrible because I'd stole money so that I could fit in and fucking do something, and yet I wanted the feeling that fucking he was getting because I had nothing. And you're just conflicted, and you're just in this horrible space of like, I'm a thief. My life's a fucking wreck at the age of fucking 10. I can't tell the truth. All I want is to be loved, and I'm getting further and further away from it. And I'm starting to become resentful about things. One of my resentments that I acted out on, and I spoke to Nick about this. Now I won't say that one, but because it was Ireland, and in Ireland you did the 11 plus, and I didn't get any present for passing the 11 plus, and that would take me out of junior school into a school called the Convent that Sister Immaculata run. So I stole some money, and I'm just walking around. I bought some After Eight mints. I'm walking around town by myself, eating this chocolate, making myself feel better. And then this film that I saw that Richard Harris was in, and it was this film about the Troubles. And this line from this film fucking jumped into my head. And I knew I was going to do exactly what Richard Harris did in this film. So I called the fucking police, and I went, "This is Red Fox. There's a bomb in your town." And the fucking town shut down. Like, and that's resentment, isn't it? Just not getting your needs met. Selfed up to the fucking hilt. So it's almost like the game. It's almost like the game's over before you begun. We moved back to England. The fucking same stuff. Yeah, you paddy cunt and all of that nonsense. If you don't know who you are, you become who you think you should be. And I had no comprehension of who I was. Should I chat like the man dem? Should I be a homosexual? Should I take drink? Should I do drugs? Should I be Muslim? Should I be Catholic? It's a fucking mess. And I was just acting out. So when you go through the work and you're looking at steps 6 and 7, you're looking at your instincts, and your instincts to be somebody or to be important, they're just so far like down that way, like you're a piece of shit, or they're so far down that way, you have to be super special. And I think I was just both ends of that scale, and acting out left, right and centre. Left school with pretty much nothing. A friend said, "Should we join the Navy?" I went, "Yeah, all right then." And within 6 weeks, I'm in the fucking Navy. And I'm an Irish Catholic. I'm not for Queen and country. That just doesn't mean anything to me. And yet there I am. At 16 years old, I've signed up for 22 years. Signed the Official Secrets Act, the whole fucking caboodle. And then before you know it, whatever constraints was on me as a child in my hometown and the family home, they were gone. And don't get me wrong, at home, before joining the Navy, I'd fucking sought help for my alcohol problem. And I was asked to do a drinks diary, so I never went back there, and I was just a kid. And as much as I would have hated my mum and dad and all that kind of stuff, when I left, it was like things just got dramatically worse very quick. So I was bedwetting, sent on alcohol courses, put in military jail. So all these sort of like interventions are supposed to try and help me. Then I got a court-martial, and in the court-martial they really want you to fucking stay and be part of the team, and they're offering me everything to fucking stay, and I'm like, fuck this, because it's 1991. And 1991 for me was like the year after 1990, which is the rave. And it's like, I fucking loved the rave. I found myself in the rave. I thought I found myself in the rave, but I learned how to dance under ecstasy. That's what happened at the rave, where you're just like cutting shapes all night, sweating like a fucking pig. Everyone's fucking beautiful in the dark, and then the lights go on. It's a fucking nightmare. And you're hearing that tinnitus has started because you're fucking by the speakers, you know. And I could say they're the best couple of years of my life, but equally they were just devastatingly not useful, because the path was like going progressively down. Well, when the rave thing finished, It's like, well, what am I going to do with myself? Because I'm unemployable. My social skills are getting worse, so I pick up the crime, and I'm in jail again. In a young offenders, and I know that I sound like I've got a slight Birmingham twang, and the reason for that is there was this one time I was in either Glenparva or Onley, the prison, and for a very small period of time, I was the only white guy on this wing of 60 lads, and the majority of them for Birmingham. I was like, all right, mate. Yeah, you just become Birmingham, and it stuck. It was such a frightening experience that I'm part Brummie, and I ain't fucking Brummie at all. So, oh God, and then when I came out of there, everyone was doing the gear. So naturally, I showed them my 6-pack because I've been in fucking jail for a year, and then within weeks, you just, the same as everyone else. And from there, I think I used to believe that whenever I took the drug, it was going to last forever. That's what I felt. Every time I took it, it's like, this is just going to last. So every come down was just the most depressing, awful experience. I cannot tell you how many times I would have tried to sort myself out, tried to do a little clock, because I fucking didn't have the legs for it, but you just kept on doing it. Heartbreakingly, there was one time when my dad, who was devout, he tried to help me in the best way that he could, and he's like, come on, we'll just go to the prayer group with the men. And there were these Irish men, 60, 70-year-old, they've been praying their entire life. They're quiet men, and they're strong men. And there's like 10 or 12 of them, and I'm just fucking weeping. Just fucking weeping, trying to, and not knowing what was on offer, not knowing anything about this. But you desperately feel that you want to change, but it's not fucking happening. There's fucking no chance. And it's almost like the woman before was sharing, you're doomed to this life, and I think that's what I felt. Anyway, I don't know when it was, but there was a community drug team, there was some funding. I did the same stuff that loads of us do, came into treatment, and I've got mixed feelings about that, because I don't know, I'm just so far down the line now. I was just really, really bonkers, really, really troubled up. I probably did a year and a half worth of treatment, all told, and when I came out of there, I was theraped up. And I believed, well, it is the past that's the root, that's the reason. That's why you fucked up. That's why, and to degrees that's true. But then I started the education here, and that first sponsor that I had, a lad called AD, I was so impressed with him. I was living in this hovel of a fucking bedsit. There's blood up the walls. There's 3 carpets on top of each other where we've been using. And that's where I was living. That's where it started out. And he came and saw me from his work day, or after work. And I was so deeply impressed that someone would take time out of their life to come and look after someone else and to come and carry the message. And then we went through that education where it's like you are mentally and bodily different. And the way I understood it is from my sister. My sister isn't one of us. One of my sisters is, but 2 of my sisters aren't. And you've got the physical allergy. It fits with your experience. You are so unmanageable in your spirit. The bedevilments, if you've heard of them, it's a great part of the book to read about, but shit at relationships, a prey to misery and depression, you can't quite sort yourself out, all that kind of stuff. And I suppose that propelled me enough to get into the rest of the step process. When that was going on, I would do things like there was a gang of lads, we were all in the recovery together, we had our own groups, we'd be leaving the Saturday YMCA meeting, going up the shop to get some fucking, I don't know, sweets or whatever, and we'd all go, oh, should we have a pray up in the middle of the road? We'd go, yeah, let's have a prayer. The fucking 5 or 6 of us just praying down, God grant me the serenity. And we're like the Annie Lents. We just don't give a shit. And like my son said, who fucking cares? Who cares? Who cares? And we had a club, the Thong Club, and we go swimming out in the sea in our thongs, because who gives a fuck? And we start having a laugh. Nick gives a fuck. That's what attracted. Who is this well-endowed man? And you know what? You start living your life, you start having a laugh, and it's coming together, and we're doing loads of meetings, we're doing loads of service, and I'll do things that were really difficult to do. Like the first meeting I went to when I was clocking, he says, I'll do the reading. I was shaking like a leaf, and I was nervous, and I would have had dry mouth, but I did it anyway. Listen to a load of share CDs, and get amongst it. And it was really good, and it was really, really useful. Then I moved out of that bedsit, moved into a flat. Nick came back into my life. I was living with Spiritual Dan, Nick, and myself in that flat. And if that flat wasn't at times a detox unit, or it wasn't at times the place to be for step 10, step 11 reviews, or we'd have that fucking bum, that alky fucking nightmare, sleeping it off, clocking and doing what they're doing, or people detoxing, that was the house. And that really gave us a really, I think, a great foundation for the first year of our recovery. And it was brilliant, because there was nothing else going on. What am I at? Okay. So we loved doing that. We loved doing it, and we were part of it. And then what happened is, me and Nick, I proposed to Nick. I proposed to you, didn't I, in that flat? And just to sort of like relay what a gamble Nick took on me, yeah, is I fucking didn't realise that you had to get an engagement ring. I was so caught up in myself that I fucking want to marry this woman. Right, what I've got to do is, and I told Richie Lucas, and he's like, what are you doing at the meeting then? And I was like, I'm fucking nervous, the story of my life, I'm nervous. And fucking drove back, dropped me off, ran down the hall, smacked into the wall, I'm just all over the place, gone upstairs. I says, oh, Nick. It should be I'm so sorry, it should be romantic, and like, Nick. Oh, she's like, what's going on? I'm like, oh, I want to marry her. She's like, what? And then I'm like, oh. And then something's dawned in my brain, so I think I started getting down on the one knee. Oh, will you marry me? She's gone, you what? I went, will you marry me? She's gone, fuck off. But then it's dawned on her. Like, oh, he's actually asking me to marry. And she was like, yeah, and it was great. Like, you know, she was, yeah. So it was fucking marvellous. And but then it's like, well, what do you do with your life if that's going on? So we went and got the flat. A couple of years later, we moved in with Nick's mum and dad to save money, to buy a house, and then we have children, and we build this life. And the life that we've got, and the life that I've got, the life that we've got, the life that our children have got, I think is so secure. They certainly know they're safe. They know that they're loved. Me and Nick have learnt to communicate through the marriage, because at times, if we didn't learn to do that, we wouldn't be in a marriage. One of my favourite experiences is I was so fucking needy just to be told by my wife that I'm a somebody. But I felt like a piece of shit. And this is in the flat before we moved into Nick's mum and dad's place. And a few of you know the story, but I wrote it on the whiteboard in my kitchen, because I just didn't have the ball. I just could not say it, because it was caught on my throat. And so I wrote, Nick, I need you to tell me that I'm the man. Kiss, kiss, kiss. And I'm waiting, waiting, and then she saw it, and she's like, oh, yeah, of course you're the man. And I just felt fucking 10 foot tall, because I got my needs met. And you know the story of not getting your needs met. You're just flying off going, this is Red Fox, there's a bomb in your head, you know. It's just, it falls apart if you don't get your needs met. And we learned to communicate. There's been tough times in our marriage. I remember one time in particular, it was really difficult, and I said, this isn't working out. And I've got the same long-term values as Nick's got. And Nick was like, what do we do we do about it? And I went, I just don't know. Because I didn't have a fucking answer. But what I knew is to tell the truth when you need to tell the truth about what's important. And what's important is we're in a marriage. And it's difficult right now. And sometimes there isn't a fix to the difficulty that's going on. But what we've learned over time, what I've learned over time is sometimes you don't attack the problem head on. Sometimes you fucking go to a meeting that you wouldn't ordinarily go to. Sometimes and my thing is, new lads. I'll take their fucking number, I'll call some of them, I'll ping some of them, and I'll offload my shit on them. Because they're supposed to be being unselfish and listening to other people. But you get the gist. You can attack it from the side, or you can approach it from the side. There's a line in the book, probably in working with others, and it says something like, nothing will ensure immunity from drinking, and nothing will do it other than working with other alcoholics and addicts. And when your back's up against the wall, and you get the opportunity to carry the message, or listen to someone else, or go to a meeting and do a share, or pick up the brush at a meeting, or take the chairs out in the meeting, or fucking just go, how are you doing? My head's fucked, how are you doing? That's how it can work. And we found repeatedly, I think, me and Nick have been together over 20 years. Like our next wedding anniversary will be 20 years. I'm clean tomorrow, 22 years. I would say... I'm good with the ego clapping. For future, Dan doesn't want clapping. Clap away for me. Yeah, I'm all good with it. But this is the juice. It's really taught me all of this stuff. And if I could, it's difficult to explain what I've seen Nick do in her life is. I've seen women, bust up broken women coming through our house fucking repeatedly for years. And I know I'm good for Nick. I know I'm part of that fucking picture. I'm not taking any you know I'm not. And that's special to be a part of. I've got mates in my life who I'll happily hand over my kids to. And they'll happily do the same. I've been employed probably for 20 years. You know, I've been in and out of prison with a really poor education and shockingly low self-esteem and gear and stuff. And yet it's all been transformed through adopting the principles of the programme and getting on with it and getting amongst it. I've had serious difficulties in recovery. I remember speaking to you, Cole, when I left, I'm fucking done. I just can't, I'm just done. Can't do it anymore. And that's not I'm going to go and use. I'm just fucking sick of the fellowship. Because I feel like, I reviewed it, and I reviewed it well. But what I struggled with was, I think they want me to say this kind of stuff. So I don't feel that I could be myself. Which was my baggage. Which was the story of my life. Whereas now, I've always struggled with wanting a sponsor. And there's plenty of times I've been in recovery with no sponsor. And it's been fucking fine, don't get me wrong. But I just wouldn't fucking do that part. I just didn't want any... fucking no one's better than me in that way. And it's like, all these people they want to do is like help you. But there's something not right there. And then when I returned and got a sponsor, I just felt like I was more part of it. And I just felt, honestly, I can be more honest in the room because I'm doing what I say I'm doing. I've got a great relationship with my current sponsor because we speak probably once a week for 5 minutes tops. And he's sound. I've got strong feelings of like gratitude for this man. So, I mean, I absolutely adore myself. I love myself deeply. When I came down here 25 years ago, I was unlovable. That's what I learned in treatment. I deeply, deeply love myself. I deeply love my wife and my 2 children. Like you wouldn't believe. I'd fucking die for that. That's the way I feel. You never know. Push comes to shove. That's the way I feel, though. That's the God's honest truth. And like I said, I've got spectacular friendships and enduring friendships. I'm wanted in life and here. And I felt like I wasn't wanted back then. I felt like I wasn't important. I'm important to my children. I'm important to Nicole. I'm important to my family. And I'm important to some people here. And some people are important to me. I don't have to be the fucking best. I can just be one of. Do you know what I mean? My disciplines, to sort of wrap it up, are I'm big on prayer for me. I fucking love it because it works for me. Step 3 prayer, step 7 prayer, the fear prayer, the fucking this, that and the other prayer. I just do them as a routine. And if I'm not liking someone, every single time, without fail, every single time, I promise you, it transforms me when I pray for them. And that just works for me. Even if there's a genuine, God's honest, decent reason to hate that fucking idiot. Do you know what I mean? That really works for me. So I do that. I've got a gratitude group with blokes. I do that without fail every day. I do 3 meetings a week. They're all my fucking home group. 2 of them more of an home group than the Thursday one, because I have Thursdays off every now and again. I inventory when I need to inventory. You know that one, like column 1, column 2, and I'll ping it to my sponsor or talk it out with whoever. There's not a lot that goes on other than the nonsense at the start, like the way we think, but it's not trouble, that's just funny. Do you know what I mean? I'm disciplined with my fitness. I'm disciplined with, that kind of stuff. I make the bed in the morning, and there's so many simple things that you can attach to doing in this program that will anchor, and that certainly anchor me, and they just make me feel extremely safe, protected from harm, and that there is a defence against the mental blank spot. Because I love crack cocaine, and I love heroin, and I love alcohol, and I've never had the opportunity to love ketamine. I remember my first pipe. I remember it so well. Could not believe my luck. Just thought, fucking, if I thought ease were good, like, pow, shadowboxing in the corner, in this crack house with all these lads and a couple of women there, and it was just like, fucking brilliant. Oh, it was so good. I used to be really scared of dogs. Inject heroin, to be playing with that Rottweiler, not giving a fuck. Stuff like that. Because it doesn't matter, does it? How long have I got? Is that it? Oh, well, if anyone's new, like sincerely, if anyone is new and you're feeling quite in your head or quite frightened or troubled in your heart, it's like I relate to it. All of us fucking probably do, but it really gets better. But it does get better if you do certain things. And I wish if you're in that position that you embark on the life that I've embarked on, which is utterly transformed my life and my family's life. And it's one where I can see a future where I'm going to die sober. And that's how I feel about it. So thanks for letting me share. Thanks for listening to me. And